today on Divorce Court.
I'm here today because I want to find out if Aisha and I can make this marriage work. The nagging, the interrogating, it's too much.
I'm here today to save my relationship with my husband as I see my marriage falling apart. If my husband does not want to change or improve, I would want to walk away.
If Aisha isn't willing to work it out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what my life would be like without my daughter or without Aisha.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Aisha, Hashim, and Arturo Cazares. The two of you have been together for 3 years. You have been married only for 3 months. You've got a 4-month-old together, and you are concerned that this marriage will not last. Miss Hashim, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me what the problem is only 3 months into this marriage?
My husband, right after we had the baby, my husband has been coming home drunk, wasted every night after work. And I also recently found out that he's been cheating on me.
How did you find out he was cheating on you?
From his cell phone.
What happened?
So he came home, he was drunk. He went to the restroom to, to take shower. And I checked his phone. So I was checking his phone and I saw text messages, which was not a complete conversation, but it was text messages from a girl he used to talk before we were dating. And the text messages said, "Get home safe and good night."
Mr. Cazares, did you in fact have a little liaison with somebody else while you were married?
I did not. None of the text messages don't say my name. They don't say that it was me. I told her that it was, for somebody else.
Now, wait a minute. I am no techno guru, but I know that the messages on my phone are for me. How did that happen?
Thank you.
Just happened to be around, and the chick you used to talk to, too.
Well, that's what she thinks.
That's what
she thinks that anytime, a name comes up or a number, hey, how you been? She automatically assumes that it's a woman and it's somebody that I used to be involved with, and that isn't always the case.
You've been faithful to her ever since you two have at least been married.
Yes,
That's 90 days.
Yes, I have. Yeah,
you cool for those 90 days. What about the drinking, Mr. Cazares?
Drinking, I feel like she's just exaggerating. Before we got married and before we were in a serious relationship, it was something that I used to do a lot. Being from New York and working in a restaurant, there isn't really much of a social life unless you go out after work. And that's
much of a social life in New York.
I mean, if you work in a restaurant and you work from 4 to midnight, when are you supposed to hang out and when are you supposed to do something?
New York never shuts down.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's why.
I'll be in Times Square 3 o'clock in the morning going places. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's why my social life starts after I get out of work. And like I said, she's exaggerating. It isn't every day. It's once or twice a week. And I think
do you get drunk?
Not the way she's saying. I am fully functioning. I do know what I'm doing. I'm the man of the house. I'm the one that pays the bills. I don't see why I can't do what I feel like doing without
Wait a minute.
her permission.
Whoa. Is it peculiar to the fact that you pay the bills that allows you to do what you want after work?
No, I think regardless of whether I pay all the bills or not, I think if it's once or twice a week, I don't see the harm in that. Okay. Especially when she knows...
Is it only once or twice a week?
It is not. He works 4 days from Thursday to Sunday, and all 4 days, or maybe 3 days the most, is when he comes home drunk and wasted. And by wasted, I mean he is wasted because this one night when he came home and he was drunk, I didn't know where he went because I was in bed and I turned around. He was in there for a few hours, and I went back and he was sleeping in the bathroom.
Now, what kind of drunk is he? Is he a happy drunk? Is he a mean drunk?
I would say he's a happy drunk if you don't ask him questions.
Most drunks would rather you didn't ask questions. That's very good.
Yeah.
But I understand that there is a lot of contention in the house, screaming, carrying on. Why don't you tell me what you two are fighting so much about?
I was really patient in the start. Right after the baby, he started drinking. before the baby, he did not used to drink that much. He stopped in. Because before we started dating, he used to go out every night. He used to get wasted, and he was pretty open about how he was. But when we planned, because the baby was very planned, we planned the baby, and he stopped.
Why would you plan the baby before you got married? That's what I want to know.
I would say everything happened. Everything took time and happened gradually. We were really good friends, and then we started dating, and we planned to have a baby.
But see,
And
the thing is, that's the problem. You got to marry him first and see what he's going to do for a year or two on a daily basis, so you know that he's someone you're gonna be able to deal with on the long term. Don't have the baby first. Mr. Cazares, do you think there's a lot of arguing and yelling in your house?
Yeah, there is. I mean,
And tell me about it.
I think for me, it's just, again, as soon as she starts with the questions, like if I step out of the house, if I go to the gym, she needs to know what I'm going to do at the gym, who's going to be at the gym, what time will I be back. And, I try to keep it within a reasonable amount of time, about an hour. But if it ever happens to be more than an hour, I come home to a series of questions about where I was and what I did. And, I say that my response to her is, it was 1 hour. Where was I going to go? Who was I going to meet? What was I going to do in that 1 hour? And,
now, are you running them real tight? Are you playing them real close? He goes out for an hour. You got to have a whole bunch of questions and whatnot when he gets home?
I actually don't. He's home only 3 days. So the 3 days that he's home, if I do feel like he's been in the gym for 2 hours maybe, I do ask him, because I definitely know that he does not exercise for 2 hours, because
What, does he come home sweaty, looking like he'd been to the gym?
no. And then when I ask him why isn't he sweaty, he's like, I don't sweat.
it's true. The only days she cooks are the days that I'm home. When I'm not there, she just orders takeout. She touches the kitchen maybe twice a week if I'm lucky, and half the time when the food's being prepared, I'm the one that's doing most of it. She doesn't clean.
Are you holding
the
it
house.
down at home? Mr. Cazares, I want you to tell me what you say is the atmosphere in your home. You say there's a lot of yelling and fussing. Has it changed since the baby came, since marriage? What's going on that's different than it was before?
I think it began after she stopped working. She after she was 3 months pregnant, I told her that she could stay home, that she didn't have to work, that I would pay everything, and she could just focus on having the baby, and that if she decided to go back to work, I just asked her to wait until my daughter was 6 months. And I think maybe it's just one of those things where she just has too much free time on her hands, and she just finds herself.
What do you fight about? Is it always about drinking and girls, or is it the general
Mostly, well,
tone?
no, it's a little bit more to that. Like she says, I am home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on those days, I think those are the only days that she does anything at home. She waits till Mondays so that we can do our laundry, that we can do the grocery shopping, because she's not capable of doing those things when I'm not home.
I don't understand. If I have a little baby who's just 4 months old, she just turned 4 months old, how am I supposed to take a big-ass laundry cart and drive it to the laundromat with the baby? I have to do it when he is home.
It's cute. I usually don't allow cursing in here. But how am I supposed to take a big-ass laundry? That was funny. But anyway, let me ask you. You say he's verbally abusive. In what way is he verbally abusive to you?
So when he comes home drunk and wasted, if I do ask him a question, because some days, like I said, he's happy drunk, because I do not ask him questions because I don't want him to scream. Because there's been times where the neighbors have asked me questions.
Generally, Ms. Hashim.
Yeah.
Hashim. It is not a good idea to pose questions to intoxicated people. They don't give you good answers. And all you do is stir up trouble, and you don't get to the resolution of anything. If you want to talk to somebody, wait till they sober up. That's just a word to the wise.
I do
Mr.
understand
Cazares,
that.
let me ask you this.
Yes.
You believe that she just doesn't do anything, that she was raised in a privileged atmosphere, that she hasn't taken the housewife duties seriously. Explain that to me.
She doesn't. Like I said, the only days she cooks are the days that I'm home. When I'm not there, she just orders takeout Thursday through Sunday. Like, just touches the kitchen maybe twice a week if I'm lucky, and half the time when the food's being prepared, I'm the one that's doing most of it. She doesn't clean.
Are you holding
the
it
house.
down at home?
I am. I think I am. I'm doing it really well because, okay, so if I just had one question. If he thinks I'm not doing it right, could he have the baby for 1 day and 2 days and I go to work and he could cook and do all the cleaning and laundry and all the problems that he's stating? Because there are days when she does not let me move, you know. She's crying and she doesn't understand at this point
Well,
what
now,
I'm saying.
look. I had a couple of children, and I have managed not only to work full-time, but have the kids and make the meals. I don't, you know, I get it. Babies are hard work, but they don't mean you can't get anything done. You can get stuff
I
done.
do. I clean our room. I sweep. I clean the room. The kitchen is clean. Whatever.
You don't like the food.
And the food. If I do cook the food, he does not like the food. He takes out several mistakes and several problems. Sometimes it's too
Is it
spicy.
a cultural thing, though? I mean, she comes...
Maybe a little bit. You know, I'm Mexican and she's from Pakistan, and just sometimes agreeing on what we're going to eat, even that alone can also be a reason for us to start arguing.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I think since we've moved in together, I've been eating Mexican food that I've forgotten what I used to eat.
I mean, are you open to eating Pakistani food? I mean, it may be
Your Honor,
good.
just not every day. Yeah.
Not every day. You want to mix it up.
Yeah, I want to mix it up.
You
No,
wanna
but
mix it
it's
up.
Mexican food every day. And it's not like I have a problem with it because I pretty much eat that now.
So
Yeah. I'm really used to it, yeah.
She's hilarious. I mean, if you wanted to stay single and drink all the time, you should have stayed single and not had a baby. But you did have a baby. And you need to come home and be with her. Do you think Arturo expects too much of new mother Aisha? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Cazares, she has painted a picture of chaotic and angry household. Do you agree with that picture?
She's exaggerating a little bit. You know, when we do argue, yes, we do. And when it's the same question over and over again, like, what took so long coming home, I do lose my temper.
Because you think she's controlling and paranoid.
She's just controlling.
about all
Like,
that.
God forbid I take longer than an hour to come home. You know, in New York, you know, there are delays.
How often do you guys get into it? And is it so loud that your neighbors do?
It is loud
hear
because
it?
when I lose my temper, I'm a different person.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
All bets are
And
off.
the
How
only-
often do you lose your temper?
It depends on how many questions she asks.
Every time I have a question.
But give me a ballpark. Is it once a month? Is it once a week? Is it twice a year?
Twice a month in the last
Twice a
couple of
month?
months, yeah.
Fussing and hollering in the household is a major sin in my book. You create an atmosphere of chaos and discomfort and uncertainty for that child you bring into the world. And none of your drinking or whatever you're doing is worth, or you're asking questions of a drunk person, is worth dismantling her foundation over. None of it. It's not that important. It really is. You don't need to ask him anything when he comes home. Talk to him in the morning when you guys can make some decisions that make some sense. And she makes some tacky food. You know, listen, I've been married 27 years, still can't cook. You either, either choke it down or go hungry. I'm not Martha Stewart. Not everybody's good at everything. You're not Warren Buffett. You're not bringing home that kind of cash. Ain't everybody perfect. You're not the perfect husband with the perfect job and all that kind of stuff. And so she can't cook. What to do? Nothing about the XX chromosome thing, make you a good cook. That's ridiculous.
All right.
I've been cooking lousy forever. I want to see the baby. You love the baby?
I love my baby. I can't imagine my life without her. And
You know, she feels all that static in your house. She feels every little piece of it. She won't remember what you said. She won't know what you're talking about, but she can feel every dagger. And you're building her house on a shaky foundation. You can't do, and nothing that wrong at your crib. I think you are a little stir crazy. You got home with the baby. Hey, I was a lunatic. 4 months in, my husband said, I don't care if I make millions and millions of dollars. You will always have to work because you are no fun to come home to when you've been home with the baby all day. Now, everybody's good at it. You know what I mean? And then I'm sick, you know. Love my children. Where's the baby? Oh, my God. Best part of the job.
She's a little fussy.
You a little fussy, boo. You a little fussy. It's all right. You can fuss if you want to. Yes, you can. You grow up, be a judge, put people in jail, tell them what to do. It's a lot of fun. The robe is ugly, but maybe by the time you become judge, they'll get something that's a little more fashionable. Yes. Maybe Uh-oh, she's about to go. Hey, take her back to Mom. I don't want to start any trouble. Bye, sweetie. Do you hear what I'm saying, though, people?
yes, I do, Judge.
Yeah, ain't nothing that serious that you can't resolve in a more rational fashion. And you gotta, you know, baby crazy is a real thing. When you're home stuck with those people all day long, you don't have, you love them and all, but they're not, you know, they're a lot of work, but they're not very good conversationalists. You don't have a lot of, you know, intellectual stimulation, and you're her gateway to the rest of the world. And you go to work and you go drinking, and she's been home doing the same thing all day long. She's a little hot about it. You know what I mean? Has she been taken out and made to feel joyful? Has she, you know what I'm saying? She just feels like a piece of equipment. And you got to change. You know, when you get married, there's no point getting married and have children and still conducting yourself like a single person. I mean, if you wanted to stay single and drink all the time, you should have stayed single and not had a baby. But you did have a baby. And you need to come home and be with her and love her and love her mother. Because if her mother ain't stable, your kid ain't got a chance. What's keeping Aisha and Arturo from making their marriage work? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. I think you guys are great people. I really do. I think you're a lovely couple. I think you're humorous. I think you're intelligent. I think you make gorgeous children. Don't make any more until you get your stuff together. But do you understand what I'm telling you?
I do. You know, part of it too is just like in my life, like I don't know anybody that's, you know, been married and held it together. Like I grew up with just my mom. If I think of all my friends and I go down the list, I don't know anybody that still has married parents.
And let me tell you what, I come from a deeply married background. Me and all my girlfriends, I'm the lightweight because I've only been married 27 years. My parents that were married forever, my husband's married. I know how to stay married. And part of it is making those adjustments along the way based upon your change in circumstance and listening and hearing your wife, how she feels and what she needs, and not insist upon getting your way so often that, you know, you win every battle, but you ultimately lose the war. Do you understand what I'm saying? And
I did change myself a lot.
I think you have. I think he just has some catching up he needs to do.
Yeah.
And you do the best you can with the food, but hey, you can choke it down if he's hungry. Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
This matter's adjourned.
Everything I do is solely for the purpose of making him happy. I want him to take everything into consideration and at least understand when I'm trying to communicate with him or trying to tell him my problem.
And I think from here on out, I'm gonna do a better job of keeping my temper in check, making sure that I ask you how you're feeling, start thinking more about you and the baby and not what I'm gonna do after work.